Despite my better judgment, I've returned to impart more of my wisdom, or rather accumulated knowledge. See, I've taken the courses, read the books, and I've walked the walk. I'm the first to admit my books are far from perfect, but they're getting better. Every new book is a chance to climb the tree of success, or to experience the greatest faceplant of your life. Still, I've picked up a few tricks over the years. Tricks can't turn a beginner into a pro, of course, but they can add layers to your stories. One of my favorite ones is called mirroring. Mirroring means a lot of things in different areas. In neurolinguistic programming, it refers to the practice of mirroring another person's actions and speech patterns. But for fiction writers like us, mirroring is about exposing one character to burdens and challenges that your heroes will have to face too. Why would you do that? Well, to show. It's that simple. To demonstrate a point in an entertaining, meaningful way. Whether you're a plotter or a pantser, you will have at least an idea of the stakes your character is about to come up against. Say, your hero Matilda must fight the villain Jack. He will take everything she has to survive beyond the next month. We've already told the reader how evil Jack is. We have met characters whose lives Jack has destroyed. So yes, Jack must be defeated. Luckily, Matilda's old mentor is by her side. Under his lead, they have a chance. Off they go for their standoff. At this point, the mentor has momentarily slipped into the role of the hero. He devises the plan, he sets the time. He dies. Matilda just about escapes with her life. Jack, meanwhile, is sitting pretty in his expensive apartment, stroking his cat while mumbling wahaha. The reader, through your hero Matilda, finally understands how dangerous Jack is on a visceral level. The reader also gets how unlikely it is Jack will ever be defeated. And what will happen if Matilda tries and fails? You have shown the stakes and had the perfect opportunity to show Matilda's ingenuity in the way she survived her ordeal. Let's look at another example from a book I'm working on. My hero is called Taylor. She's not a team player and yet finds herself in an unusual situation. She has moved in with a tight-knit group of people in the hope that, together, they can defeat a common enemy. One night, she sort of stumbles into a conversation with the leader of the group, who, until now, has had very little to do with her. During their quiet chat, he reveals, almost obliquely, how much pressure he's under. How, despite being the leader, or maybe because of it, he's been told the love of his life doesn't make a suitable partner. He hasn't even had a chance to whisk her away for a weekend because people keep making demands on his time. Taylor sympathizes. His complaints reflect everything she hates about being part of a team. He has lent legitimacy to her character flaw, the one that tells her to stay alone, do what you like, look after number one. Later in the book, though, something weird happens. The group's leader has the opportunity to walk away from his prison, leave the naysayers and leeches behind, take his woman and finally lead the life he wants. Yet he doesn't. Why? Well, take your pick. Friendship, love, responsibility, a common purpose. At this point, Taylor is confused by his reasoning, but his actions weigh on her. It's not until later that she finally gets it, appreciates how friendship and love makes the compromises you must make worth it. To recap, first the leader's situation mirrors Taylor's, which confirms that her ideas about teams are in fact correct. Then he acts in a way that baffles her. In other words, he has turned the mirror away from her. In the end, she's caught up with him, and they're in sync again. We have now used mirroring to show our hero's flaw, and to show how she resolves it. Did you know your hero's own past might hold clues as to the person she was at the beginning of her journey? Taylor, for example, grew up in a group that was supposed to offer safety and love, but instead she was betrayed and hurt. When she offers this information up to the reader, she shares more than just experiences. She shares her soul. At the climax point of her story, despite her own experiences, she has chosen the new group over going it alone. It is this decision that ultimately saves her. So by placing her in comparable situations, by mirroring the old Taylor against the new Taylor, we have added meaning to her development, making her triumph all the sweeter. There are hundreds of ways in which mirroring can add insight into your hero, but I admit it isn't an easy concept to apply initially. However, with practice, it will get easier. Your mind will start looking for opportunities to mirror before you know it. And I promise you, the payoff will be worth it. Right guys, this was it. Speak to you soon.